Hey guys, it's me, Katrina. Doing a very bizarre evidence video today. I'm trying to be very cognizant of the level of my voice. For some reason, when I do screen recordings, even though I have all the volumes up and everything's at high, you can barely hear me, and I don't know how to fix that. Maybe I need a microphone. I don't know. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys. I have an Apple computer. So with Apple, you get an Apple ID. I have not been able to access my Apple um, functions or anything. FaceTime has been blocked. I can get my mail, but the mail is being filtered through different app, or through somebody is filtering all of my emails where I don't get half of them. I've had friends that have tried to email me through there, tried to call me on FaceTime. Their calls never go through. My messenger on Apple only works part of the time. The only person that I can ever, consistently get a hold of is my handler. Now, I haven't talked to him in coming on, I don't know, a little less than a year. I just cut him off. I was so sick of him just being manipulative and lying to me all the time. I thought if I was maybe nice to him, that he would kind of leave me alone, even though he's an evil person. So, all right, he's the one that put me into this program 4 years ago. So I go into my iCloud account online, and I see that you can download all of your iCloud information. So I go and I do, and I found a whole bunch of really interesting things in there. When I looked at my Apple sign-in information, it gave me an IP address that was his IP address. So I was shocked, and not really, but kind of. And the last time that he logged into my iCloud account was August 23rd of 2019, so it was fairly recent. I found that I got this all on August 27th. Then I look at my iCloud, my iTunes, and my FaceTime, and it goes back to this IP address. And the last logins were for iTunes and FaceTime October of 2018, and then iCloud was 8/23/2019 at 4:01, and then at 4:06 for the other one. So obviously they're networked together with my information. And what was even more interesting, I went on iplocation.net, and I put in the IP address, and it went back to Redstone Arsenal, Huntsville, Alabama, and Huntsville, Alabama. And one of them went back to the courthouse, the Madison County Courthouse, one to Redstone, and the other one was also near the courthouse. Now, this is the IP address that I had when I was being trafficked out of his apartment for 1 year in Huntsville. That's why it looked familiar. So it's him, basically watching everything. So here we go. It went to right here, Madison County Courthouse. So we're using federal servers to basically stalk me and keep me hostage. Okay, or actually we'll call it coercive control and medical and human trafficking. And then the other one went back to Cumberland Center, Maine. So I looked up the coordinates for those, and it went back to a private home in Cumberland, Maine, and then also went back to the United Church of Christ in Cumberland, Maine. Now, this particular church, I've had perpetrators out of this church, very close perpetrators. And a lot of this started for me in Wisconsin, in Kenosha. And the one in Kenosha was also earlier on. When I got here, I found out that they were also peering off of my network. I have mostly federal offices and people that had perpetrated on me, on my tracer routes, on my information. So I looked that up. So I basically catch him doing all of this, and I find it right there. And I've also found out too, let's get on here, if you have Little Snitch, you can see the monitor. There seems to be a connection with him in the Mormon Church. And if you look, you can see, oh, let me get there really quick. Okay. All right, so we have Arizona here, and if you go over to Mesa, Arizona, right here, this is my iCloud mail and that. And last activity was 8 seconds ago. First activity was October 23rd, 2018. So they have been on my stuff for quite a while. And look where it goes to. The Church of Jesus Christ of the Latter-day Saints on South Center Street and East First Avenue in Mesa, Arizona. Now you can see here, I was stalked when I was in Huntsville. Apparently these ones have a polygamous bent to them, and they were from Cedar City, Utah. I had 4 cars show up after being told that I was going to be forced into a polygamist relationship with this man, and who's stalking me and having me terrorized and medically trafficked and everything, and having me hit with directed energy weapons nonstop, specifically going for my head and my organs. This is all because I don't want to be in a polygamist relationship with him or anyone else. So there were 4 cars that showed up at first in our big apartment complex, and that was May of 2017. And then by August of 2017, there were over 20 cars of these people that had been in and out of there from that area in Utah. So it's no shock that I have the Mormons on my stuff, and they're using their church to have coercive control of a woman that they are human trafficking. Now, you think it can't get any worse. Well, check this out. So I have death threats coming into my Facebook now that I found everything that he's been, I basically caught him red-handed. So now, because I found that, I'm trying to make this bigger. Now I'm getting death threats for, yeah. So if you look here, you'll see, I don't know if I can make this bigger. Can we do that? Zoom in. Not really. Okay, well, I'll read it to you. So yesterday at 2:49 p.m., I start getting novels, and this is what they do. They put in novels of just really bizarre things, and they'll have a theme, and it will literally be every other post on Facebook. So I'm bombarded with these. They have IML. It's about an abused girl's desperate fight for survival and a silent killer determined to destroy her. Born on a small farm in Alabama, which is where he is, Eleanor Griffin spends her days in a hell of her father's making. The system has failed her, leaving her trapped in a world of unimaginable torture and pain, which is basically what I lived in Alabama, and in Maine and in Chicago prior to that. Sold to the highest bidder, Eleanor finds her nightmares have only just began. Those responsible for her abuse begin disappearing around her without a trace, while the local authorities seem to be at the center of it all, which the police are integral in doing this to me also. They've covered my trafficking in every single place that I've been, actively covering it through their servers, through other federal servers. Okay, step inside a world of a young girl who suffered from the most heinous acts imaginable and survived. This is her life. This is her story. Available on Amazon. Okay, so you can see here, this is 2:49 p.m. and that was on yesterday. 3:28 comes. He puts up something about bullying victims because he loves to be a bully. So he puts this book, Blue and Gold, the bullying memoir. It's this big long thing about bullying. Then 3:35 p.m., What Rose Forgot. So it's a book about a grandmother in her 60s emerges from a mental fog to find out she's trapped in her worst nightmare. So I look up this book on Amazon to find out what it's really about. And it is about a woman who, her brain was in a fog. She finds out that she's been put in an Alzheimer's unit, has no memory of how she got in there. Rose is sure something is very wrong when she overhears one of the administrators saying about her that she's not making it through the week. Rose is convinced that if she's to survive, she has to get out of the nursing home. She ends up taking her medication, putting it on a show for the aides, and then escapes. The problem is now how does she convince anyone that she's not actually demented? Her relatives were the ones to commit her, and all the legal papers were drawn up. The authorities are on the side of the nursing home, and even she isn't sure she sounds completely sane. But any lingering doubt Rose herself might have had is erased when the would-be killer shows up in her house in the middle of the night. I mean, this is so fucked up. Now Rose knows someone is determined to get rid of her. With the help of a computer hacker, recluse sister Marion, a 13-year-old granddaughter Mel, and Mel's friend Royal, Rose gathers the strength to fight back and find out who is after her, to take back control of her life. But someone out there is determined to kill Rose, and they're holding all the cards. Okay, this is pretty much what I've been set up for. I've been, with the medical trafficking, I've proven in videos that I was being hit with, specifically in the head during trafficking incidents. I would wake up, facial symmetry was completely off. He was electroshocking the right side of my brain basically any time that I would fall asleep, and because I'm MK Ultra, I have implants where I can be consciousness turned off, so I wouldn't be aware if someone did that. But from what I had learned, that there's a possibility that people, in order to have me put in the Korean Brain Initiative, which I have another video proving that was on my network too. So everything I'm talking about, I have video evidence of it posted, and can prove that I'm being illegally medically trafficked. There's nothing wrong with me or my brain or anything. But this is kind of like the plan that they had. I've been terrorized by certain people trying to get me to go to hospitals when I wasn't doing anything. Obviously, someone is trying to get rid of me, trying to shut me up. I inadvertently am a whistleblower, I guess. I don't mean to be, but I guess I am. So there's this one. Then 4:39 p.m. yesterday, I get a book called Jimmy put on my stuff. And apparently it's about this boy who, like, ties up people and, like, rapes them and tortures them and stuff like that. And he's like a high school kid, but he's, like, really demented. It's just sadomasochism, insanity. Then yesterday at 8:22 p.m., Stinger, a relentless alien bounty hunter, encloses a Texan town under a dome to isolate, hunt, and kill its prey. Well, I was told that I'm literally under a dome of drones and things like that where I can't get away. It's like insane. So, and then 8:27 p.m., 5 minutes later, then there's books called The Bad Games. So I look it up on Amazon, and I find out that this is a whole series of things where a family goes camping on vacation, and then they get like targeted by these two psychotic brothers, and apparently these brothers terrorize his family for like years and years and years, enough to make 5 books about it. And it's just like insane. So it's a big game for them, much like the gang stalking, much like what I've gone through with the death pool betting and all that. So then I get, can a father murder his only child, the dead daughter? Then I get, at 8:46 p.m., 1 minute later, dead and gone. Then 8:48 p.m., I get the Merciful Crow. And I looked that up, and it's about a clan of undertakers and mercy killers, and they take more abuse than coin. Just insanity. Just a bunch of freaking weirdos, okay? Then, 8:53, I get the River Girls. So then, when the body of a missing girl washes up on the banks of Willow River, the killing is linked to 2 cold case murders, and the investigation must uncover the twisted motive of a serial killer before he kills again. So once again, it's a teenage trafficking victim, a human trafficking victim, disappears from a shelter. Eden is drawn in search of the sadistic killer, and the hunt becomes personal when Eden's niece is abducted, just as a body of yet another victim is discovered in the river. So once again, trafficking victim being murdered. And then that's where it was on my page. Okay. Okay, and then I just looked up the reviews of that book, and it, once again, police corruption and human trafficking. Fantastic. Then they put this one up about a Wolfman Warlock. Because, yeah. Then Turn of the Key, a shocking saga of murder and deception. And then Chosen, and Chosen has to do with a woman whose son is being targeted by a group of men to be kidnapped and probably used for something really weird. Once again, it has to do with the baby trafficking that I've been set up for any future children that I may have. They actually have long-term planned and to take my child through CPS even before I have any kind of pregnancy or anything. I found so much stuff on that even before I had an adoption agency on all of my routers going back to 2012. I mean, that's also proven in video. So there's the book right there. And then I get this one. This one is about... there's another theme that they had put in before. I had another series of insane books that they had done about aliens mating with human women and fallen angels mating with human women and reverse harems where the women have 5 husbands, but in reality it's just she's being trafficked by 5 guys that probably rape her all the time. I didn't make that video yet, but I think I will. So this one says, since Ray's defiance earned her a blinding blow to the head, once again, another theme, fear has hovered as close as a guide dog that clings to her side. But the terror that grips her now is almost beyond description. Like her sister before, Ray has been sold to one of the alien beasts that now rule the earth. And if the towering leather-clad alpha discovers his prize, can't see, he could kill her with a flick of his claw, or worse, send her home, where the only mercy she'll get is a bullet. From the moment the alpha beast spotted Ray, his desire roared louder than his bike's throaty engine. But the only smiles his new pair of this is so small. But the only smile his new pair aims his way are forced and oddly off target. If he can't win her over, he can't trust her with his own truth. And the combined weight of their secrets could destroy everything. It's just insane. It's just fucking insane. These people that are doing this to me are like animals. They're like the hills have eyes. Okay. Then another one. All right, so that one was 9/17. Then 9/18. Woman banned from education. Husbands chosen by the parents. Just crazy. Okay. 5 minutes later at 9:24. It doesn't take long to get revenge. 29 seconds. Okay. Then 9:25, 1 minute later. All is not what it appears, the seemingly perfect community of Austin Valley. What if everything you knew was a lie, which it pretty much is. Okay, then 11:45 p.m. yesterday, this game finds you in some like creepy thing here, and it says the passengers of an ill-fated bus ride to Miami awaken to find themselves duct taped to their seats and stranded in the middle of nowhere. Chaos ensues, and the passengers are picked off one by one, unwilling participants in a sadistic game hunted because of a dark secret they all share in common. If they want to survive long enough to find out who or what is behind the game, they will have no choice but to play. I mean, come on, the Death Wish game is what it's called. And then 11:46 p.m. 1 minute later, then the Bad Games Trilogy again. Then 11:51, I get the Crew Princess, and being Crew is walking between two worlds. One world is normal, prom, parties, and college, and those are the concerns they worry about. And then it says in our world, we deal with other situations, cops, drugs, brawling, and that's a typical day for us. You know what? They call themselves the Wolf Crew. I am not interested in that kind of fucking nonsense. Just go away already. Alright, I'm not like that. Okay, and then there's the book right there, 11:51 p.m. Then they had more creepy books, and then they had Labyrinth with David Bowie, which I don't even care because I like him. But, and then 11:52, now we have another serial killer book. But the serial killer's on the jury, of course, because he would never be caught. Then the Memory Police at 11:55, a few minutes later. One of Japan's most acclaimed authors exposes truth, state surveillance, and individual autonomy. So it's basically the Memory Police, insanity. Then 11:58, a couple minutes later, I stroll down. I know everything. You can only spend so much time with monsters before you become one. Go away. All right, 11:58, white hot silence. An ex-MI6 agent is out to rescue a woman from his past who's been kidnapped by the mob. And that's another theme because I've had people since 2012 in this human trafficking gang trying to lure me to travel. I've literally had 14 attempts from around the world of people trying to get me to travel. When I was doing readings, trying to get me to meet them to do a reading, they were all Eastern European people that did that. I never did. And then 11:59 p.m., The Arrangement, which is Pretty Woman meets Fatal Attraction. My God. Then at 2:01 today, I get The Dragon. When the racing dragon she is responsible for wakes her in the middle of the night, Katniss is forced to make a life or death decision, one that breaks her master's rule and means her own life is forfeit. Then at half hour later, I get the Unyielding Destiny, story of a mafia hitman with divided loyalties. Go away. So of course he's got to kill some woman he loves. 309, I get the Witch with the Witch of Painted Sorrows, the Witch, the Vampire Maker, A Holiday by Gaslight, because I'm being gaslit nonstop and being told that nothing is happening. Beauty and the Clockwork Beast. I mean, it's so stupid. Then at 3:12 a.m. today, I get the Vampire Warrior Wraith infiltrates a criminal gang to take down a dangerous enemy, but finds himself drawn to a tough beauty with a dark agenda of her own. I mean, come on. Today, 409, I get the Quantum, A Mysterious Death, as usual. 410 today, I get Women Banned from Education, Husbands Chosen by the Parents. Today is her offering. Then, today at 6:28 p.m., this is almost done, I get Prayers to Break Negative and Evil Soul Ties, Agreements, and Covenants, because I've been doing deliverance work nonstop, trying to break anything that I have with these people that I don't know about, so they put that up. Then, Let Him Chase You. Then I get the River Girls again, about the trafficking victims that are being killed and put in rivers. Then today at 7:03, I got 13, once again, the serial killer. Then at 8:18 a.m. today, I got Now She's Dead, She Is Gone, Who Is She? 8:20 a.m. I get The Night Is Cold, and that's another terrifying serial killer one. 9:20 a.m. It's Always the Husband. She Was the Quiet One. Stranger on the Beach. And that's it for now. But this within, like a 2-day period is the level of insanity. I mean, someone is going in and strategically choosing these books. And this happens all the time. Oh. This happens all the time. Whenever whenever they want to convey some kind of a message, and it will be almost every other post. So I could show you the ones about the aliens mating with women and being jumped into gang raped into some kind of a cult. I mean, but this is the mentality of these people. Now, what are the chances that I discover the person who's doing this on my stuff and find out he's been controlling everything for 4 years of my life and making it so I can't work, I can't have friends, I can't do anything. And then I'm getting all these weird death threats and all this stuff. It's just so creepy. It's just sick. It's so fucking sick. He's not the only one doing this. He's working with other people close to me too. That are fully aware. And those of you who've been following my case know who those people are. But yeah, this is what I deal with. So, all right. Well, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.